What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the new album from the band Infectology, entitled Innards of Misanthropic Embodiment. This is released on Gore House Productions. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Ibarra, Ecuador, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very fast-paced, aggressive, torturous style of brutal death metal. Yeah. This band has undergone a lot of changes throughout the years until they finally decided to settle in on a permanent sort of name. Because prior to that, this band went under a couple of guises, most notably craniotomy and hemophilia, until later in the 2010s is when this band decided to change their name to Infectology. They put out a demo in 2011, and then in 2013 they came out with a debut full-length entitled Origin of Pathological Experimentation. That was quite a raw album in and of itself. The snare tone, the riffs, the vocals, there was just a certain ugliness about that record that made it really stand out and was very entertaining. Even in 2015, they put out a split with another well-known band within the Ecuador brutal death metal world, and I'm of course talking about Gastrorexis. Really, really awesome band in and of itself, and it was suitable for a band like that to do a split with them. So, yeah, now we have their second full-length entitled Innards of Misanthropic Embodiment. It's 8 tracks, and it clocks in at around 26 minutes in length. So this is pretty much one of those instances where it's an all-killer, no-filler sort of affair. It's a short record, it's sweet, it's to the point, but yet you can tell that this band improved on everything that they did on their first album and made it sound and deliver that much better. This is such a crazy album, and this really did exceed my expectations. This is a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and I really, really think that this is a band that you should be paying attention to if you like really heavy and brutal music. Musically, this band really stepped their game up big time. This album is chock full of deadly and venomous riffs. They are all over the place, and they really do make the songs work that well, especially for the relentless pace that goes on with each and every bit of this record. You hear it on tracks like Absolute Disembodiment, Deification of Insanity, Ritualistic Embodiment, just some incredibly devastating riffs. I mean, these riffs are very hard-hitting from the get-go, especially towards the more slam-esque sort of parts throughout this record. The heavier, slower moments of this record, it really, really does make that much of a difference, and I really think these riffs are what make this album so special. One of the reasons this album is so special, and there's a really good underlying bass tone to be handled too. It's just as heavy as the guitar, I would say, but this is mainly an album that belongs to the guitar riffs. The riffs are very, very strong and very well structured. Drum-wise, I think the drumming is amazing. I love the speed and the will of this drummer. Very, very high emphasis on a snare tone. It makes things that much more catchier and much more effervescent. I love the snare tone. I love the blast beats. I love the fills. I just love the insane tempo that this drummer has, and it really makes things all the more enjoyable for this drum performance. Like I said, this album has a very fast pace going for it, but yet you feel comfortable being thrown into it right away, and this drummer really does a fantastic performance with this record. And when it comes to the vocals are very, very guttural, very undecipherable, very ugly, very disgusting sounding, and I really think that these kinds of disgusting guttural vocals go perfectly for a release like this, especially for some of the lyrical themes and concepts of this album. I really think it works out well, and it makes things flow together nicely. So overall, this new album is definitely what Infectology should be sounding like. I really, really appreciate the kind of approach this band brings. Really great guitar riffs and bass tones, excellent drumming, really nasty vocals, good artwork too. This is an overall total package release. Like I said, this exceeded my expectations. This is a way better record than I thought it was going to be, and I really think if you're into fast-paced, brutal death metal, Infectology is the band to be checking out. So, if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Absolute Disembodiment, Deification of Insanity, Forced Unnatural Carnal Knowledge, Ritualistic Embodiment. Those are some personal favorites of mine. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Gore House Productions Bandcamp page, where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can stream it digitally. It is also available physically as a CD. Really nice artwork, high quality as usual per Gore House Productions. I believe there's also cassette tape versions of this available, and there are also t-shirts if you want to order direct through the Gore House website. Definitely do so. So let me show you the album again. This is Innards of Misanthropic Embodiment by Infectology. This is released on Gore House Productions. Go support this. And for a score, I'm going to give this a pretty strong 8.5 out of 10. Very, very awesome release. Relentless, fast-paced, and just straight-up nasty. This is how Infectology should sound. So if you happen to have heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it and how you feel about it. Or any of you guys into Infectology, let me know. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until next time, Armijo out.